So as always, timestamps exist, and boy has it been a while, but I haven't forgotten that I need to do this Batsu. So if you don't know, basically I just need to do 20 videos of Gold Chip. So I've already done my thing. Obviously, the rest of this video is going to be me kind of going over, I guess, what I'm doing for Champions Meet, while I'm also showing you basically what I did to train my Uma Musume for Champions Meet, but oh, it's still painful. So I think I still want to just go for stamina. Yeah, I have yet to get a 3-star stamina Uma Musume, which actually kind of involves using Gold Chip as well, but since this Batsu involves using Gold Chip, and yes, I have a special week now, so, but yeah, things happen, so I guess we'll do our best. Oh my goodness, but yeah, this is essentially the deck I'm using for, or the build I'm using for Champions Meet, and you'll see in a moment just how I train, basically. It's not the most reliable thing. I barely need a few more resources, but I don't really have any better speed cards unless I'm willing to use an SSR Silent Suzuka or my Biko Pegasus, neither of which I really want to use. I would rather hope that when we use Sweep Tosho, that Sweep Tosho gives me the Charming event. That's essentially what I'm kind of hoping for. So for those who don't know completely what's going on, we're training for a very specific PvP event, which then therefore involves basically doing a lot of coin flips. In my opinion, it's less than coin flips, but you're essentially trying to get RNG into RNG into RNG. In this to be more specific about it, so the way I'm training here is essentially just focusing on speed and stamina. But the tricky part about this, what I'm hoping, which is not what I'm doing for this training, but because when I'm actually trying to train in Uma Musume for Champions Meet, I am using Gust Horses, which I no longer have because, well, I've used all my daily uses. So, but just to kind of give you the skeleton of what I do, yeah, so we're trying to... I think it's split into like 3 or 4 parts. So the 3 or 4 parts include trying to get medium distance to S. So therefore I need some sparks that are either 2 to 3 star medium, which I do have, but that's kind of already one coin flip. It's worse than a coin flip, but just to kind of simplify things. So I'm gambling on 1 coin flip. And then I really want Sweep Tosho. Sweep Tosho is not a requirement to get the event that gives you Charming. For those who don't know, Charming gives you extra bond increases to get friendship training faster, which therefore equals basically more efficient training where you're getting more stats per turn. This is the first time I've actually seen that event because you can get random cards. But and I think there are some other things that I'm really basically hoping for, on top of the fact that I really want more supports to appear during training, but that's completely out of my yes, I feel like there's other things, but even just those 2 things alone, getting Charming early and then getting the inheritance that I want. Oh, that's the other thing. It also has to do with sparks, but also getting Red Shift and or Shooting for Victory, both of which are uniques that you need to pick up. And because I don't have Maruzensky or Taiki Shuttle, I basically have to hope for, well, 1, the inheritance, which is guaranteed, and I usually guarantee Red Shift. At this point, you might be looking at my Gold Chip here and saying, why Jordan are you? Oh my goodness, why Jordan? That's the bad part about doing this training, but it's something I had to do anyway. I don't mind the bad mood for the moment because that should fix itself, but we do want to just burn some of this energy before we do anything else. But yes, you're looking for essentially the second unique skill to inherit from your grandparent Uma Musume, which is not always guaranteed. So I'm looking for that, Shooting for Victory, which I think I only have on one of my 3 horses, on one of my 3 Uma Musume. Second is, in terms of the 3 most important things, second is getting your medium aptitude to S, which is pretty much anywhere from 20 to 25%-ish pretty much during a run. Oh my goodness, we didn't heal the effect. Well, if there are no better turns, then we'll go for it again, but we might as well train. And then the third thing is getting Charming early, or getting Very Lucky training. Either or will work, but usually I prefer Sweep Tosho. Sweep Tosho's Charming event usually make things a lot more consistent in terms of getting to 1200 speed. That's the direct impact I'm looking for. Because, yeah, hitting 1200 speed and then hitting the stamina requirements. I would optimally prefer to get minimum 1200 speed, 1000 stamina if I only have 1 rare recovery skill. In the case of Gold Chip gets 2. She gets her after school. Oh my goodness, we failed the junior debut. She gets her Go Home Specialist and Swinging Maestro. So those are the 2 guaranteed ones. So therefore, your stamina can be like anywhere from 800 to 900. I still like to be at 1000. In fact, my Gold Chip is at 1000 stamina. And then everything after that is, to me, basically RNG at that point. So not really much else I can do about it. Yeah, this Alpha Mood is going to be really, really painful. But hey, if I fail this training immediately, that will be interesting. But for the moment, nothing else is happening this turn. So let's try to get rid of Night Owl. I forgot if Night Owl goes away normally, but we'll just get rid of it. Funny enough, we still have enough mood increases. I just don't want to get friendship training with like bad Alpha Mood. Or really Alpha Mood. I really should just do recreation here. Depends on if we get training like this. Because at this point, mood doesn't matter. This is just the strategy I tried among several. As we take stamina here. And this one seems to be the most consistent. And it has got me... I have my 3 Uma Musume 4 champions meet, basically. Now, whether or not they'll perform really well, I can tell you right now, I think there are only 2 A ranks and 1 A plus rank. It's not some spoiler. It's like 1 day left for champions meet, so there's no point. I mean, I will just say it out loud, right? So I'm planning to field Gold Chip, Oguri Cap, and Simply Rudolph. I was planning for Simply Rudolph to be a late chaser, and I would have taken Lone Wolf there because I really should have just taken Lone Wolf. We're already at Alpha Mood. I made a mistake, but let's do recreation. Really? There's no medium here? Are you serious? That's interesting. I was about to say there's no medium. That's crazy. But yeah, so, and then obviously my Gold Chip is End Closer, and then Oguri Cap is Pace Chaser because she has Gourmand and the Swinging Maestro if I inherit it. Now, an unfortunate thing happened when I was training my Oguri Cap, so my Oguri Cap is not where I optimally want her to be. But it's gonna be. I might just do. I mean, I can fit 3 more trainings before Champions Meet releases. But it's not gonna be good. I promise. it seems to be. It's okay, but obviously I'm not going for like 4 or 5 wins with the Uma Musume I'm fielding, basically. So, shrug. And then Simply Rudolph is okay. My bare minimum requirements, aside from 1200 speed and the stamina requirement being hit, is to get medium aptitude to S. That really makes a big difference. And if nothing else, it makes up for a lot of stats. It's your way to go past the stat cap without actually going above the stat cap, if that makes any sense. Essentially, it makes your Uma Musume faster. Strategy is less important, but it still would be nice. Obviously, an Uma Musume with an aptitude and S in the strategy will usually do better than an Uma Musume with A, but it's not the most important thing, as opposed to distance aptitude, which does a lot for you. I think literally it's speed, top speed, or max target speed, or possible speed. So that's, that's kind of important. And then I think Turf is, okay, but it's, you really want, you want distance, and then if possible, if you can greet it, as one of my Oguri Caps has, is an S in strategy, but that Oguri Cap is missing Gourmand because I didn't even get the last linked event. Oh, no, wait, she has Gourmand. She doesn't have Swinging Maestro, that's the thing. So she didn't get Swinging Maestro because I never got the last event of Super Creek, so the Super Creek support. And so that Oguri Cap is definitely, if someone is fielding a Nice Nature in the races I run, that Oguri Cap will not perform. When I say a Nice Nature, I mean a very, even with just Mystifying Murmur and Gaze, or just a few stamina debuffs, my Oguri Cap will just peter out at the end. But basically, if I go against any properly built Nice Nature, I am going to just kaput. So, shrug. But as for Simply Rudolph, I said earlier I meant for my Simply Rudolph to be late Surger, but it turns out, especially since I think I got Pace Chaser corners with my Simply Rudolph, And so I just decided, well, since I have 2 stamina perks or 2 stamina skills anyway, I might as well just put Simply Rudolph in the Pace Chaser strat. I'm pretty sure she'll survive. And then Gold Chip will definitely survive, but essentially I at least have my bases covered. So if I don't see a single Nice Nature, we can go for skill points here if there's a medium. There's not, so whoops. I guess we will rest instead. But anywho, but yeah. So if no one feels a Nice Nature in my races, then my Ogre Cap will do a lot better. But if there is a Nice Nature, then I have at least Gold Chip and Simply Rudolph to kind of cover. Now the downsides specifically the downsides that I foresee is if I run into Nice Nature, Silent Suzuka teams, someone who's fielding 2 front runners possibly will more likely defeat me. This is not based on simulation. This is based on my analysis of how Uma Musume are performing and how I see them perform. I think there's another thing. Oh yeah, the other example is and since everyone's running Gold Chip, technically I'll fail under this, but it's RNG essentially. The third strategy that I'll most likely lose to, fielding my Gold Chip, Simply Rudolph, and Ogre Cap, are 3 different Uma Musume who outwit me in each End Closer, Late Surger, and Pace Chaser strategy. And the reason for that, as we hope that this is a good inspiration. Nah, it could be better. But well, I mean, for the ones that I keep forgetting that I'm not using a guest here, but yeah, it could be better. Let me see here. I think I'll just take Go Home Specialist. Taking one of these during your training, taking an efficient stamina skill, a rare gold stamina skill, is pretty important. It makes your Uma Musume, if I feel at least, if nothing else, I feel it makes your runs more consistent because you're hitting stamina caps. Specifically, while H stat is buffed by 400, that applies to the rivals as well. As you see, my wits kind of hurt me here. But that allows me to survive a lot more because that essentially allows in Uma Musume to have more stamina than pretty much every other rival. You don't often see a rival with a gold recovery skill in the training mode, which is why your runs become more consistent. If you have more resources, obviously, and by resources I mean either good inspiration and or good support cards, then you don't need to worry as much. You'll fail like at most 5 to 10% of your training somehow, unless you just quit yourself, but that's a different story. But yeah, just taking, taking Swinging Maestro at some point during your training, if you're a bit scared about your training, helps out immensely. And if you're especially taking long races for whatever reason, having 2 rare skills will pretty much have you survive with 400 to 600 stamina. URA Finals, on the other hand, is a different story, but again, you normally shouldn't be struggling during the URA scenario. It's just if something goes completely wrong, or you just quit out yourself if you want to save time and you don't need the veteran. So one other thing is that, yeah, I think I do have access to Sympathy if I really wanted it, but then I'd have to sacrifice something else that I was looking for. So, specifically, yeah, getting Sympathy would have been nice, but unfortunately, I think I just have to stick with just making sure that I either have Lone Wolf or I'm locking other rivals off from having Lone Wolf themselves. That would be nice, but no need to gamble here. We're just going for a consistent run. So Lone Wolf increasing your speed by 40, and theoretically 20 if you're at speed cap, but that extra oomph will help out, but not as much. Funny enough, not as much as pace chaser, corners, or straightaways. I'm shrugging. Real life, there's not really much else to say. Really, we didn't get anything else? Well, here's hoping that we get. I wasn't paying attention to my support card, so I don't even know if I have any friendships high right now, but guess we're gonna find out. Because we're just running kind of a more consistent gold ship here, I guess I will enter Takarazuka Kinen here, although my speed is a bit low. So we're gonna find out if we even win this. But yeah, as for Champions Meet, there are other things I could say. I'm just forgetting them at the moment. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So just to continue on, if I didn't already talk, I kind of touched on it at least, but my wits for all of my Uma Musume are like at 200, 300-ish. 250 to 300-ish, which is not good, because if I go against a gold ship or anyone that shares a strategy with my Uma Musume that have even just an extra 100, 200 wits, in a vacuum during the race, it's likely that we just end up stuck behind others because of how things work. For those who don't know, essentially your wits plays a factor into your Uma Musume knowing to speed up, essentially, when she is too far away from essentially being first place basically during the first half or 66% of the race, which is important because that can result in you being blocked behind other Uma Musume, which results in some tragedies occurring, or just, as a lot of trainers watching this video may already know, getting blocked, is likely to just lose you the race. After that would be being rushed, especially in a champions meet with debuffs in it. So being rushed and then getting hit by debuffs will most likely put you out of stamina as well. Depends on your stamina though. With Gold Chip at 1100 stamina with 2 rare recovery skills, you're less likely even being rushed to run out of stamina from what I know, or I'm thinking, but we won't know until we're actually in Champions Meet. Some people say that they do know, but really until you're in Champions Meet, because of so many factors that can go wrong or right, a whole bunch of things can happen. Heck, even if you have 900, 1200 wits, a skill could just, that has to be wisdom checked, could just not proc because of the maximum, 92, 95% chance of skills. So literally RNG at times. So you cross your fingers and you pray. That being said, I'm not going to pretend if you run into an S rank Uma Musume, or basically a properly, optimally built Uma Musume in Champions Meet, you have a very high chance of losing. Or you have a very low chance of winning if you go the other way. If there's something... a common example is a very strongly built Silent Suzuka. You could throw a built nice nature at that Silent Suzuka and you will just lose because... Yeah. Most likely though, in such a case, you will run into double frontrunner from what I know. Because you can't really... You can try to rely or predict that someone else is running a frontrunner as well, and so therefore you have 2 frontrunners. The reason why that's important is because having 2 frontrunners results in some finicky distance changes, which can put your frontrunners really far ahead. So if I had the choice to build frontrunners myself, which I could theoretically have done, I just decided to try and get my 3 Uma Musume first, which turns out to be the only ones I can field. But I would probably have built Silent Suzuka along with a frontrunner. Or forced probably like a Super Creek frontrunner. That way, those 2 will be jockeying for position in the front, and we wouldn't have to be worrying at the pace chaser. With 1 frontrunner in a race, it's much more likely that your frontrunner may lose to basically the other strategies. And one of the exceptions is, well, pretty much every frontrunner designed Uma Musume, but the easiest one is Silent Suzuka, because if she's in first by the time you're in the final leg, she procs her unique skill, or she uses her unique skill and off she goes. You're not catching up. So, but I don't know that for sure. Again, we'll see. I will plan to record my Champions Meet races just to kind of commentate. If nothing else, give my observations as to what's going on. I'm probably going to be wrong on more than several things during the races, but I can at least comment on things that I see. We're entering Japan Cup as well here for funsies, but also for Sparks. I just personally like to do that. That does cut into my ability to get 1200 speed, stamina, power, so on and so forth, but it's the choice I make here. But yeah, rewinding back to wits, so yeah, the wits for all my Uma Musume entering the Champions Meet is pretty low. The biggest reason why that would hurt me a lot is just being rushed. It doesn't look like a lot, but an extra 10 to 15% chance of being rushed, it's not like 50, it's like more like 10%. Same thing for position keeping, which is what it's called theoretically, or it's what it's called. Doesn't depend on wits, but basically every extra 100, 200 wits increases your odds of, properly doing the keeping pace, basically keeping your position increases by like 4%. But again, as this procs every second or few seconds that your Uma Musume is making decisions, that does add up over time. So an Uma Musume that knows to make the right decisions, basically, to paraphrase, an Uma Musume that knows to make the right decisions more often will more likely be in a good position or be in first among their strategy, and therefore not be blocked for performing in the final leg and final spurts of the race, which is pretty important. But again, I'll let you know when that happens. Basically, to summarize, if someone has 500, 600 wits while keeping the speed at 1200 and stamina requirements are being met, I'm going to likely... my Uma Musume, in whatever strategy that is going to lose in that strategy. Likely. But again, that part is RNG. If I had to trade one... If I would rather still have 1200 wits and 1200 speed and 300 wits than 600 speed and 900 wits. That's essentially the trade-off there, because without the speed, you won't be able to hit your max speed anyway. So what's the point of your wits? Unless you're going to block someone, I guess that's what you could try to do. If I had my way, I would troll and throw Haru Urara, but I obviously don't have the sparks to field in Haru Urara. You can do it, because literally nothing matters except for your position for a lot of factors in the race during the first 66% of the race. But yeah, when you reach, there's a reason why Haru Urara in her Arima Kinen scenario makes a difference, or like you see her immediately suffer for it. But we'll see what actually happens. If I had to guess, if I had to call it right now, I'd say I'm going to win. Maybe no. Let's just put my chips down. I'm gonna win 3 races in the first part. I keep forgetting what it's called, and then I'm only gonna win 2 races in the second part, and I'm not gonna move on to finals because I think to move on to finals you need to win 3. I can't remember, but you get the point. I've made my predictions. Also pain, but. So yeah, 2 wins in the first round. Yeah, round 1. I think it's what they're called, rounds. So for round 1, I'm gonna win 3 times. I'm gonna guess, and round 2, I'm only gonna win twice. But we'll see what happens. I am in the graded league as well, so I mean the fact that I said the fact that I said A rank and S rank should have already clued you in. But for those who don't know, there's the open league and the ranked league, or ranked grade and open grade. Open grade, you can only field Uma Musume up to grade B or below, not B+, B or below. And in in the graded league or in the graded races, you can go up to however high you want, basically. But both are going to be difficult anyway, because there will be people just entering the open league and just basically fine-tuning their Uma Musume. I can definitely see that. And yes, I am kind of paraphrasing from other sources, but I mean that I understand the rationale behind that. Yeah, I was gonna say a thing, but I don't know how true it is, so I'm just gonna skip what I was gonna say. So off to Osaka High I go. Again, I'm mainly just taking these for sparks. This is kind of more a chill run anyway, but yeah, Champions Meet is gonna be interesting. Do I even remember ever entering a Champions Meet? If I did, I really don't remember the things requirements. I probably didn't even know there's a Champions Meet happening, which sounds odd because someone might say, "Well, Jordan, didn't you say that you were doing Aoharu scenarios before?" Yeah, but that was in the Japanese version when I didn't understand Champions Meeting was coming out, or maybe it came out a lot later than I thought. But I feel like it came out earlier. I mean, that should be self-evident based on the scheduling of things. So maybe I just didn't enter, and I just started doing Aoharu scenario. I'm shrugging in real life as I say this. So basically, this to summarize, this is my first Champions Meet ever. So, but yeah, there are people, and I did the same too. I kind of made my preparations for Champions Meet as well. Oh, my energy. Do I gamble? No reason to. I'm not trying to make an ace, or I'm not trying to make good Uma Musume here. Again, this is just for chill inheritances. So we'll take Swinging Maestro though. I could wait and maybe fish for extra hints on corner recovery. And that's another thing. I think someone's mentioned it before, but essentially on actually like in global server talking to me during a stream. But yeah, you do want to just save your skill points most of the time. There are specific instances in which you can just take it and be fine, but for the most part, you usually just want to save your skill points. We're not going to clock, by the way, unless we have a free clock. But yeah, you just want to save your skill points and wait till the end if you can manage to get first in pretty much every race you're going to go in during training. But if you don't, though, it's not a bad idea, especially if either you guess right and you're never going to get any more hint levels for a skill you're taking, or, I mean, pretty much the same thing. You're never going to get a hint or you know you're not going to get a hint skill. Like, say you run to Silent Suzuka's support left-handed skill grabbing perk. Fine, we'll get Charming here. I'm pretty sure I have people who have, or I have supports that are not... Yeah, I mean, Mayano Top Gun literally in my face, and Super Creek as well, but if I can hit like 1,000, 1,100 speed, I pretty much have a 95% chance of clearing this training without ever losing, or ever having to clock, basically. The other 5% are usually examples of just being blocked, really. Being blocked and or skills not proccing. Those are the specific cases in which I have to clock with Gold Chip while training Gold Chip. Now, I don't know that for sure, that's what I assume, but the other way to think about it is that you have a non-zero chance of failing every race. You can get pretty high, though, but yeah, there's always a chance for you to lose a race. Unless you're doing like front runner sprint or front runner, but you have this and you have the stamina requirements. Then you have a lot higher. Again, it's still non-zero, but you pretty much will win a race all the time. Because the whole point of you getting stronger in Uma Musume while you're going through the scenarios or the career scenarios is that you just outstat your opponents, which is why it's easy. And so the harder part is, well, yes, RNG in getting a legacy you want or getting the exact fine-tuned, stat-tuned, skill-tuned Uma Musume that you want for whatever event outside of training. In this case, Champions Meet. But as we move on here... So, I haven't really been talking about the training itself, but there's not really much to go on. Again, all you've been seeing me do is hitting speed stamina training. Maybe once or twice in a blue moon on a random run, I will pick power guts or wit training outside of summer training. But aside from that, this is how I train my Champions Meet Uma Musume, basically. Obviously, there are other things you can do, and you could probably be more optimal, but this is just what I found more consistent and efficient for me. There are other things you can do. A common example is a very simplified example is essentially gambling on high failure rates, but there are other things you can do, especially depending on the unique events of an Uma Musume herself. An example is Gold Chip. Say, this is not a prevalent example. In fact, the Gold Chip that I'm putting in Champions Meet has gate kept, but it's not like I needed that anyway. I should have just taken the top option. So each Uma Musume have unique events, and they can have hidden unique events as well. One of Gold Chips is to win Takarazuka Kinen twice. If you do that, you get extra goodies, but you also get choices in which one grants you... I forgot what the other one grants you. I always just remember Gatekeep. The second one has a chance of giving you Gatekept, which is a negative skill. Or you can get Charming, but you at that point in Gold Chip's training, or basically third year, you should have probably already had everyone you needed to be at a high friendship level, which is why getting there, there's no reason to take get kept. There's very specific reasons to take it, and that's to, funny enough, very specifically lower your grade. But yeah, aside from that, that's just very fine-tuning as well, because it's not like gate kept, unless it does lower your grade by a lot, but from what I know, it doesn't. Also, did we take Go Home Specialist? We did, so let's take Professor of Curvature, which apparently doesn't... Well, I mean, it still has a greater effect in the current race for Champions Meet, but not as much as just taking Shooting for Victory and Redshift. And it kind of makes sense, because those skills, whether you believe in simulations or not, I mean, though the points in which those skills will proc will be at a very optimal point in the race, if they proc, obviously. Unless you're fielding a Taiki Shuttle or Maruzenski, or you're fielding Meijiro. So that's something we can talk about. Meijiro Ryan and her Let's Pump Some Iron skill. My problem with Let's Pump Some Iron is that, well, we'll see in the race. I probably should have just went for it anyway, but in the Gold Chip, I'm pretty sure the Gold Chip that I ran, I can show you at the end if I remember. But if I did, then I didn't get Let's Pump Some Iron. If I didn't, I just wanted to try and take Redshift anyway. And we'll see how it works out. I wouldn't really argue if someone said, well, that was a waste, but yeah, Let's Pump Some Iron has very specific requirements. You essentially need to hit 6th place during this specific Champions Meet. And funny enough, if you're unlucky, what can happen is that you go past 6th place and you never get to skill to proc. And then obviously if you're in 7th place, unless something miraculous happens, you're not going to proc it anyway, because you're probably just going to lose. But again, we'll see what actually happens, because you could be like in 9th place and still be able to proc skills, or just get first, essentially is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And for those who don't know Champions Meet, there are 9 Uma Musume racing, 3 of them are going to be yours, and you need to get first to win a race. And you need to win, I think... Or is the first round only for determining what class you're in for the second round? Because in the second round, you get Class A and Class B. And you're in Class A if you win. Essentially, you win. If you win more, you're in Class A. If you win less, you're in Class B in round 2. But in round 2, I think you have to get a specific number of wins. Otherwise, you don't go to the final round, essentially. So... But any number of wins, the more you win, the more rewards you get. And yes, Graded League does have better rewards on average than Open League, unless you just completely raspberry into no wins. But again, we'll see what actually happens. And I'm interested to see how trainers how they'll come out of Champions Meet, basically. But we'll see. By the way, we are already in the URA finals, and we have the things we have. This is kind of the norm for me, 600 to 700 speed, stamina, and power. But, yeah, this is interesting. So, we did get Charming, so we can quickly get Super Creek to Orange, but that's a thing. So, not really much else to say. We are in medium races, so here we go. But not really much to really look on. This is pretty much normal for me. I could end up clocking here, but... we'll see. Yeah, I mean, like I said I was gonna clock. We have a free one though, so we'll clock here. But I don't really want to use any more clocks at the moment. So if I end up having to clock again, I'm not gonna do it. Shrug, got blocked, I guess. You know what? Let's replay this and see if we actually got it. I'll say it right now. If I got blocked, then we won't clock. If we didn't get blocked, then I will clock. So, but yeah, my gold ship has gate kept, and she does not have Let's Pump Some Iron. Instead, she has red shift, and that's about it. I think my Simply Rudolph is the only one with red shift and shooting for victory. So, shrug, and it's gonna be really common. I didn't go the nice nature route because I don't have a built nice nature. So, but that. Not built nice nature in terms of potential. I think you want her potential. I can't remember. But essentially having the proper supports and ability to get the skills that you want. Because you essentially want all the stamina debuffs in the world on your nice nature. Trainer Forbid are 3 goddesses forbid that you have. Late start, by the way. 3 goddesses forbid. There are 3 nice natures in your races. But again, with me fielding the Uma Musume fielding, there's only going to be a maximum of 2 nice natures. And those apparently debuffs can stack, if I recall the sources correctly. But shrug. And by that I mean if there are 2 nice natures, I'm definitely getting hit by debuffs. And I think my gold ship is the only one who has a chance of surviving. But if there are 2 nice natures, then everyone's being hit by debuffs anyway, so shrug. That being said, a lot of nice natures' worst debuffs happen in front, so obviously with gold chip being an end closer, you have to worry less about that, but still. So, again, we'll see what actually happens. Again, there's a lot of there is going to be variability, not again, I just want to say. There is going to be variability in what happens, and yes, we're watching a losing race here, by the way. But, yeah, there's going to be a variability in what people field, whether it's people who don't know anything about Champions Meet or people who are fine-tuning. So I'm going to see what happens, because I'm pretty much going to go in as soon as possible. If not as soon as possible, that's going to be really strange. But anywho, could actually stream it myself, but we're going to see what actually happens. So, yeah, we're definitely blocked here, so get blocked, lose, I guess. Also, could be a wits problem. Wits problem meaning that a gold ship does not properly keep her position properly. So, hey. But yeah, we're in the inside. There's Machikane Fukuki Taru in front of us anyway. But also our speed is low, so shrug. So, as we end this run here, not really much else to say. I'll show you the 3 Uma Musume I'm most likely to be fielding, but I will show you the 2 or 3 Oguri caps that I'm kind of juggling on. Basically, I have two Oguri caps, one for each situation. One being, hey, I need stamina, and the other being, I don't need as much stamina because no one's fielding nice nature, essentially. And when I say nice nature, I mean really no debuffs, but I don't want to risk that because I am predicting, because of how sources everywhere have arranged things, I feel like I'm going to see at least one nice nature, or in all of my races. So we did get Murmur, funny enough, but let's see here. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but could take Murmur instead. Yeah, I'm going to take Murmur instead, just in case I can inherit it for no reason. But if you're making an Uma Musume that's just meant to run, then yeah, you probably just want to take... You don't want to mix debuffs and skills anyway. You could, but if I had to give my opinion based on a feeling, I would say not to do that. You have one dedicated debuffer and two aces, essentially. But I'm running a 3-ace strat, and we rolled into Wit's Spark anyway. So, thank you very much. We are marching. We are going away. 27 million fans at the time of this video. But, yeah, I'll show you essentially the Uma Musume I'm fielding, and you're going to see my attempts as well. But, essentially, I did this without the optional races, obviously. But that was essentially how I trained all my Uma Musume for Champions Meet. You can be much more efficient, either in resource or in training strategy, but I decided on this. I decided on what I did because the rest of the things that I tried, other strategies I tried, were not as consistent, and so I just ended up wasting training. So, just to go here, I think this is the Oguri cap I'm going to be fielding, question mark? Yeah, because I think there's another one somewhere else. No, it's not. Because the easy way I know it's not is because the medium aptitude is not S. That plays such a big factor that I'm not fielding the one up there, even though one has better skills. I'm not fielding that one. Not that Oguri cap. Really? Oh, Sparks. I sorted them by Sparks. Data acquired. Could have probably sorted by rating as well, but this is probably going to be the Oguri cap I'm fielding. No, it's not. I'm looking for medium S. Oh my goodness gracious. But this is certainly the Simply Rudolph I'm fielding. So, shrug, right? Redshift Shooting for Victory are the two that everyone's trying to put on their Uma Musume. Yes, it would have been easier if I just had my own Maduzensky and Taiki Shuttle, but I don't. So, shrug. But yeah. And then just to show, yeah, this one has a Maduzensky with a Taiki Shuttle. So while the Maduzensky Redshift unique skill is guaranteed, and there's one over here as well, the Taiki Shuttle one is not guaranteed, and that's the one that was harder to land on top of the other things, and just to show you the career for this Simply Rudolph. But there's something else I wanted to show. I mean, yeah, I could show you the inheritance as well. I mean, there's pretty much, I think this is 3-star stamina, like 3 to 9, 3-star stamina on the representative, and 9-star in total with medium aptitude. Same thing for my gold. This is my gold chip, obviously. So 3-star medium, 2-star medium, 3-star medium, or 2-star medium. But you get the point. We're trying to roll, so you have to hope for S medium aptitude. And then in the case of also getting for Shooting for Victory, you want to get Shooting for Victory inherited in your second or third year as well, which is already a lot of RNG. And then on top of getting, yeah, as you can see here, we don't even have 1200 speed, but getting medium aptitude to S to me was more important. As for the gold, I think it's this gold chip. Yeah, A+ gold chip here. That's how I remember. So this is my gold chip. Has gate kept for immersion lore, but really should have not grabbed that at all. I just decided to. And then we have Behold Thine Emperor's Divine Might, Redshift, and then some green skills with 2 rare recovery and Professor of Curvature, because there's really nothing else after that. And then as for the inheritances, same thing. Pretty much just using this specific Maduzensky with Taiki Shuttle and Simply Rudolph. But as for the other thing, yeah, obviously because I was already I'm training gold chip here. It's 2-star medium, 3-star medium with staminas. And then 2-star medium here, URA Finale as well, if that procs, a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's my gold chip. And then I think Oguri Cap is probably one of the ones down here. Nope, I'm going crazy. It was the one up here. Was it the one up here? I think it was the one up here. No, because I was looking for S medium. Is it not that one? Might be this one. Nope, I'm going crazy. There's no way I transferred her, right? She should be here somewhere. Am I going crazy? Did I never get it? No, I did, because I remember getting an Ogre cap that got S medium and S Pace Chaser strap. But yeah, okay, well, no, not that one, because that's 474. I'm going absolutely crazy. Where is she? It's not that one. What? She's up here somewhere? Is it one of these two? I think it's one of these two. No, it's not. Okay, maybe I'm fielding an Ogre cap with an A medium aptitude, which would be really strange. That shouldn't be the case. Did I never get an S? Maybe I didn't get an S aptitude. I'm going crazy now. Well, in either way, that's something I have to look into. But basically, all my Uma Musume should be at S medium aptitude minimum with 1200 speed and 800, 900 stamina. But Ogre Cap gets more to work with because, well, she gets Gourmand, and if she gets Swinging Maestro, that's 2 rare skills for her, even as a Pace Chaser. But we'll see what actually happens. I'm planning to record Champions Meet. If I don't for whatever reason, well, we'll find out. But as we enter the Tourist Cup soon, this should be the end screen. Not going to really be much else. If you want to say something, ask questions, so on and so forth, let me know. Otherwise, I will not take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!